What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Old Volks TV. We've had a lot going on lately, and we've had car shows going on, we've had podcast stuff going on, we've been on hunting trips to go pick up crazy stuff and drop off transmissions, and it's just sheer chaos. Not to mention I'm remodeling my house right now, so we got all that going on. Can't even get to most of my cars or my stuff. But we finally are in springtime, the trees are greening, the grass is growing, and it's safari weather. I went ahead and talked to Jeremy over at Loosenuts Safaris, and I had him send me a safari window kit for that ragtop bug. I kind of debated on putting one in forever. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, keep the car, more original, but I kind of settled on a middle ground. So I painted the frame black, so when it's closed, it looks more original. It'll kind of have that stock look from the outside. Just be a little bit lowered with those sweet wheels on there. But I still have the chance to open it up and open everything up, and I've got the long extensions on the back, so this thing will be like maximum airflow. So we got the frame, we got all the stuff. It came super safe, super fast shipping. Jeremy does a great job on that stuff. I've got a piece of aftermarket glass. I was not lucky enough to get glass with my car. So I had to get this one, but I got this from our pal Daniel Watts over at Oak Hill Automotive. They got all the windshields, and he sent it out super quick. I had it like 2 days. And it's pretty close to original. It fits in the frame really nice. I've already test fit that with the seal. I've test fit the frame in the car. Fits perfect, like it would. I wasn't worried about the frame fitting at all, because it's, he does it, like I said, a great job putting them together. So all we got to do now is just assemble this thing, and then when I have access to the car, we'll push it over in the shop, and we can actually install it in the car. But for now, I'll just show you guys how to put it together. They also come in chrome, which is super cool, but it was just a little too flashy for me. I didn't really want a chrome frame on there. So the black is going to be nice. So let's jam this camera real close. You can see exactly how we're going to do this. It's really not that hard. Jeremy did a video on it. I watched that video like 10 times. So now I can show you how to do it. So that's it. Let's zoom in a little bit closer and safari time. All right, so what Jeremy does is he takes the seal, which is too long, on purpose, by the way. I don't need this right now. And start kind of in the middle of the window. And this seal, see, it's got the little flaps on it, and it's split. So you kind of get that. This one's a little twisted. It's been packed up. And I could mark the center of the window. Probably not a bad idea, but I'm all right. Now this goes on pretty easy. And then you got to take a piece of tape. Kind of wrap that around just to hold it while you're going. Similar to doing a seal on a side window. So we got it all on there. It's loose because it's not a tight clamping fit. It just kind of folds over, but when you put the frame on there, you'll see it'll push it in there. Just like on a side window when we did that seal, and I told you guys not to cut it, and it was all one big piece. This has to line up evenly, but this is cut. So the problem is that it's gonna shrink as it settles in, and we don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut that. See that? We don't want to cut it right on the perfect edge. We're gonna come over, maybe 3/8 and cut it there. This way, we have a little slack a little slack in the seal. That way when it relaxes, it won't have a gap. You don't want a gap. And we put the slice at the top because that way the water's not going to creep through that seal. You know, your Wolfgang bus safaris and all that, they do the same thing. You have that little split up at the top. I'm going to retape that, and then you got to kind of go back around and adjust your seal just a little bit. Let me get that side. And he beat on his with a hammer. That's crazy to me. I don't know about that. Oh, maybe you need to though. I don't know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And it's terrifying hitting that windshield with that little dead blow hammer, but you don't have to hit it very hard, and you can actually feel the frame going into the seal. You know, you have to get in there and kind of tuck it a little bit. I'm gonna have to go back with that little screwdriver, I think, and kind of tuck it. And I guess the trick is he didn't really say, I guess he kind of said to stretch it. I was trying to put it on kind of loose, but you do have to, you know, you got to kind of pull it tight so that it can make room, and then it went right on. You know, that looked like a few seconds to you, but man, it's been like 45 minutes fighting this thing. But I think we got it. I got this half on. Now we just have to get that bottom half on, and then we got it. You got to be careful when you're putting that bottom half on, because you want the tabs to be on the same side as the brackets. So that's going to have to go on that way. You can't do it the other way. It won't work. Window won't work. So you got to be careful, because once you put it on, man, it is a pain to get off. I've had to take it off twice already. So let's see if we can squeeze that bottom on there and put the accessories on. Okay, here's all the hardware, and my dogs, hopefully they don't knock the table over again. This is all the hardware he gives you. These are the screws to mount the top to the top of the window frame. You got your latches, little rubber pads for your latches. So those will go on there, and then that's these longer stainless flathead screws. Those go in just like that. I always like the latch to point in. This part, like on my bus, I always have this part pointing in. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but well, those are some stock latches. That's just how I do it. You can do them, I think, either way. I don't know. Maybe this, never had a bug one before, so I don't know. Maybe that won't work, but for a bus, that works. And then they put that little rubber in there to keep them from backing off. Golly. There it goes. They're just really stiff. When you put that in the car, you're going to screw that down to the dash, and that's going to hold it tight. But that'll be when we get to the car. So for now, it'd be a heck of a lot easier if I could just, man. There we go. Boy, those are tight. There we go. These are the sliders. So this is the tab that welds onto the car. This is the hardware that goes into the window. It's a nylock nut, which is pretty cool because that means it's not going to get loose, but you can always tighten it up. The ones in my bus, the Wolfgang ones, are riveted, and if it gets loose, like they're loose right now, they're just loose. So, and I'm not going to probably weld these to the car. I'm probably going to use rivy nuts. These are super important. Don't lose those. This is what attaches the frame together. They're very tiny and they're very likely to fall off the table. Let me get these set up and I'll bring it back. So you should be able to see there, it's flat. It's a flathead, they call that. But this is countersunk, so that when you put the screw in there, it pulls this over right in line where you want it. So when you put the other one in, I always do the end of the tab first. And anytime I have countersunk screws, I do the end first, because it'll pull it over nice for the next one. Just like that, nice and flat. Let's get these other two on. And there we go. Safari window. I got to do a little more. Tucking on this seal. It's still sticking out in a couple spots. So I'm gonna lube that up with a little Windex and try to get that nice and pushed down in there, but that's it. And then this hinge, I don't know if you can see the hinge there, that's where, these will go up into the body like that. And there's a trick to that, which I'll show you when we put this in the car. But for right now, I think that's as good as we're gonna get. I'm gonna have to do a little taping too and a little more paint touching up, because man, these things They are a tight fit on that seal, but that should be good. So we'll zoom back out and we'll say goodbye. Safari window for the Bug. Man, I'm super excited. I can't wait to get this thing in the car, get that car running, you know, take it out and beat up on some Corvettes with that big motor we got in there. It's gonna be great. So that'll be maybe next time, maybe the time after. I don't know, we got some shows coming up. We'll probably get in there in between. And like I said, I gotta wait for our old pal Kiki to finish doing my kitchen and the bathroom and all that other stuff before I can even get to the car. So it might be a little while before it's in, but at least we got it together. So there you go. I'll put the links below how to get one. Jeremy is like 7 months out on these, but there's a few places you can still get them. I'll see if I can link to some of those too. You might get lucky. You know, check out all our friends, all the other links that we got down there too. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. I know a lot of you are watching the channel, but you don't subscribe to the channel. Helps us out to know how many people are we making the show for, you know? Tell me in the comments too, where are you from? Where are you watching from? Got a lot of people in the UK. I got a couple guys in Sweden that watch us. We got a bunch of people down in Mexico. A couple Canada, I think, as well as all over the US, Puerto Rico, all over the place. So let me know where you're watching from, and get you a shirt. I think I don't know, somewhere. Sean's got a link. It's down below. Get the shirts. We're gonna have some new ones coming out pretty soon too that are pretty sweet. So keep your eye on that. And thanks for watching.